Joining me right now back on the show is UFC middleweight powerhouse, Eryk Anders. What's going on, Eryk?
Hey, what's going on, brother? Nothing much, man. Just hanging out and getting ready for the 12th.
Let's go back to UFC Minneapolis. You got a vicious knockout victory, snapped a three-fight skid. Now that it's all said and done, could you give us some insight into the fight that fans probably were not exposed to before and during the fight?
What do you mean? You talking the Venetians fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Man, I just kind of knew that Venetians would be anxious for the takedown, kind of desperate for it. So, I just kind of picked my shots and man, just wait till I had a good opportunity and I took advantage of them.
You've been competing in the UFC for a little over, I think, 2 years now. You're heading into your ninth fight, which is an incredible pace. Could you put into words, what the ride has been like so far, competing at the highest level?
Man, it's been ups and downs, man, but it's been fun nonetheless, man. I don't think that I would do too much different if I could again. So, it's been a hell of a ride, and man, I'm gonna keep riding until the wheels fall off.
You've been to many different locations to fight. Have you had any unusual experiences throughout those, 8 fights that you've had? Maybe, with fans that had your head kind of scratching?
Experience with fans, nah, man. I think the fight fans everywhere that I've been have been awesome, man. Canada, Brazil, and all over the United States, man. They're all awesome, man. So.
UFC Tampa is your next destination. You're back at middleweight. There was a very unusual moment in your last fight, before your last fight, during the weigh-ins when they called your weight. They weighed you in as a middleweight. Was that kind of like an omen that you were gonna fight back at middleweight?
Nah, and to be honest, I didn't even really pay attention, man. All I heard was when he said the six. 'Cause I knew 205, I could weigh 206. And when he said the six, I was like, cool. I kind of stopped paying attention. I really didn't hear the 185 or two. I didn't realize that he had said 186. And man, I hope that guy shows up for this coming weigh-in. The same guy who's working the scale.
He might, call you at 170 or something. You never know, right?
All right, that's fine with me.
Now you're taking on Gerald Meerschaert. He also has, impressive performance in his last outing. Did you watch the fight? Well, what are your thoughts on the performance?
Yeah, I think that the thing about Gerald is, man, he's really good at taking advantage of his opportunities. And Trevin, kept engaging in the grappling and the wrestling and the scrambles with him, and came up at the end. And that's kind of Meerschaert's mo. He kind of likes the chokes, and he gets them from everywhere.
With his strength of schedule and the style of fighting that he has, is Gerald going to be a good test to see where you stand in the middleweight division?
Yeah, I think so, man. That guy's got a lot of fights. I think he's going on 40 fights or something like that. So man, he's certainly battle tested, been in there with some real killers, and you know, I think every fight in the UFC is a test to see where you're at and whatnot. So I think this would be a good fight.
It's been a little over 3 months between fights. How long has this training camp been? And did you go anywhere else? Did you travel a little bit?
Man, I've been a little bit everywhere, man. I've been all over the place. I really didn't take too much damage in my last fight, so training as usual, just getting ready. And as soon as that contract is signed, we just up the intensity and take it to a new level.
Is it better for you to, just go to different locations during a camp instead of just staying in one location?
I like being home, man. I got everything here. Um, and the thing is, I like to go and to train and feel bigger guys. Like I was at Fortis, and was out there training with Uriah Hall, Ryan Spann, Jeff Neal, um, Kennedy. I can't pronounce his last name. And I just got back from Vegas. Working with Brad Tavares, Vinny Yankton, and just a bunch of other guys. It's good experience, and I think that's kind of the thing about martial arts, man. You can travel, pick up and absorb from other people, other places, and bring it back, and kind of adapt it to your own game.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of, high level guys, they go out and train at these big gyms and, dabble a little bit and then they go back home and kind of form their own or go back to their home and kind of, understand like what works best for them. Is that the situation for
Sure.
you?
Yeah, something like that. Man, and then I just like to go train and get good work in it anyway. So, it's all around beneficial for me.
Every training camp is not the same. Is there anything that you've added or anything different about your preparations this time around?
Um, Not really, man. Man, just working on me, continuing to evolve, get better, faster, stronger. Be a more complete athlete. And, just you have to be forever evolving in the sport. Just because that's what the sport is doing. You can't get left behind. So, I work on everything all the time.
Do you like the consistency? Do you like having the same like patterns during a training camp, or do you add little things in between to kind of spice it up?
Man, I may add some things in between, but for the most part, I like the regiment and the routine. So I guess a
You
little bit
s-
of both. To answer your
yeah,
question.
yeah, definitely, definitely. You said that after your last fight that your style is better suited to move up the ladder in the middleweight division. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, man, I don't see too much of a speed difference between the middleweights and the light heavyweights, and they're way bigger. So if I'm gonna be at like a speed disadvantage, anyways, I'd rather be the bigger guy, the stronger guy. So, uh, man, they're just a lot bigger, taller, like in stature. Those guys are like 6'4", 6'5", whereas the middleweights are more my size. So, I think it just works out better for me.
When you connect with your punches, with your kicks as a middleweight, does it feel like you are doing more damage?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I hit these guys in middleweight, and they either go to the ground or go flying across the cage. So you know, not the same thing. They can just take more punishment. I think they're more durable at 205. So you know, it just plays better for me.
In the middle of a fight, when you hit somebody and you kind of see their facial expression, kind of rethink the situation, what are you thinking at that moment?
Man, it depends, man. Usually it's go get them. Let that killer instinct come out and then go finish the job, kind of thing.
A big fight's coming up, UFC 243. The middleweight title is on the line. Robert Whitaker versus Israel Adesanya. What is your breakdown of that fight, and what is your prediction?
Man, this is the thing. I think that Kelvin Gastelum showed that you can kind of blitz style uh, uh, Israel Adesanya, and that's kind of Robert Whitaker's thing as well. The in and out kind of thing. But I don't think anybody evolves and adapts as fast as Israel Adesanya in this game. So I'm sure he's fixed a lot of those holes. Who wins the fight? I have no idea, man. I'm gonna probably just bet on the underdog. Put the underdog on my parlay just because I really have no idea who's going to win the fight. I think it's evenly matched, and we'll see what happens.
There's this new title that they're trying to bring along, which is the BMF title. What are
Yeah,
your thoughts on that?
I think they should, man. There's a lot of guys, or very few guys, that are down, to fight anybody, anywhere, at any time. So, I think it's a good idea, good marketing tool, and I think that belt right there is something that fans would really buy into.
Should they bring in other titles too, like maybe the money weight title or something like that?
Uh, I don't know, man, because man, there's only like two or three guys that are just like, you know, bringing in like big money, like McGregor type kind of money. So, they probably ain't but two or three people fighting for that belt, anyways.
UFC Tampa, when you go in there, when you visualize this fight, what do you see happening?
Me put my hands on Gerald. I think that like my last fight, I don't think Gerald will be desperate. I think he's definitely more confident on the feet. But at some point, he'll be looking to close the distance, get attached, and try and get it to the ground, or just get attached. 'Cause, man, he finds chokes from anywhere. So I think that'll be his game plan to submit me.
I know that you are looking to submit somebody. Is that something that you're going to be looking for too?
Um, Man, listen, I'm so confident in my game that if a submission appears or shows itself, then of course I'll jump on it and take it. But the it's not the first thing I'm looking for.
After this fight, do you plan on, taking the rest of the year off, enjoying the holidays, or are you trying to just be like, all right, if I'm healthy, I'm gonna jump right back in before the end of the year?
Yeah, if I'm healthy, I'll jump back in. I like fighting, and 4 times a year. This will be 3, so maybe another one in December will be something I can do.
One last question before I let you go. There's many different types of competitors in MMA. Do you consider yourself a martial artist or a fighter?
Man, a little bit of both, man. Because man, I show up, I train. I really don't do the training camp thing. I'm trying to evolve, grow, add pieces to my game, like a martial artist does. But when I go in there to fight, man, I'm not looking in there to go in there and be a martial artist. I'm looking to go in there and knock somebody's block off, which is a fighter. So I would say I'm a little bit of both.
All right. Well, October 12th, you're going to be looking to knock off someone's block. UFC on ESPN Plus 19, Tampa, Florida. Thank you, Eryk, for the time, and good luck on the fight in your future.
Hey, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.